There we go. How's that? That should be a little bit better. Sorry about that. Let's make sure that the adjustment is correct. We should be, yeah, we should be good there. Give me the thumbs up. Let me know. Okay, outstanding. So anyway, hey, ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? Good to see you. Ronald Harris, good to see you. Dirty Water, Amy Harold, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. Nana Stacks, good to see you. Eric Math, Jackalope Herdmaster, Paula Bloom, Big Flip Coins. Thank you guys for coming in. So let's go back to this morning. Yes, I took a pretty hard bite down a flight of stairs. Stepped on a plastic bag at the end of one of the stairs, and sliding downstairs just for young people, not necessarily a good thing. But yeah, I pretty much jacked myself out. I've got been icing it most of the day. Kind of laid low and haven't been doing much. Sitting down is fine. It's when I actually have to move or anything that it's bad. Hey, bye Frost, how you doing? But I'm okay. It's pretty tender. Bifrost and I hung out, and she was kind of watching, making sure things were good. But yeah, it's good. All right. Well, I want to go ahead and get right into this. I don't want to take too terribly long. I know I'm streaming over a couple people, but I wanted to bring this to you. And I have been eking to open this. But I want to talk a little bit about my CAC submission. I want to talk about the general process. And I want to talk about what my experience was. Now, I have worked with PCGS, NGC. I worked with Annex. And years ago, worked with IGC. Now, I have had only one other account. The only other account I've had was PCGS. So when I've done submissions to NGC or when I've done submissions to Annex, they've always been through other people or been done at coin shows. So I've never actually done a submission like this outside of PCGS. So I can't relate it to NGC. I can relate it to how the experience went sending it to dealers and how the experience went doing it with friends. But there is a couple differences here. So I want to lay that out. This is the first time that I've actually opened the account. You can't see this because it's green. But created my own account, went through, did all the work, and compared to what I went through at PCGS, the CAC situation was way, way easier. We'll talk a little bit about why. I think some of it is the fact that I followed a process, made some phone calls ahead of time. So overall, the general process of submitting this through CAC was way, way easier. So the first thing I did, obviously, was I called CAC. I mean, now I have the website here. You can see it behind me. I scroll up and down. You've got a couple different things. And if you scroll over, you can see you got the submitter portal, and you've got, the news and articles, and you've got show schedule and all this other stuff. And so I kind of look through here and figure out what's going on. Hey, Big Flip, what's going on? So kind of look through here, figure out what's going on, and kind of scroll through and go, well, my submitter portal will be here. Now, I'm not going to click here because if I click here, you're going to see some information, and I don't want to see this yet. I've been really good about not clicking on it because I don't want to see what my score, my grades are. I want this to be a surprise. So I haven't looked at my paperwork. I haven't looked at this. I really fought against it. But I wanted to kind of understand some things that were going on. And so I kind of looked at the site and went, you know what? I'm not going to try to navigate this. I'm just going to call. So I called the telephone number and I said, hey, I've never used CAC before. I've never used this process. Can you walk me through? Now, as a person who's dealt with customer service and situations like that, one of the biggest things for me is first impressions. And I've got to tell you, the customer service at CAC for me, now I'm not talking about anybody else, but for me, was very good. The lady that I talked to was very explanative, told me what was going on. She walked me through it. Are you on the site? Yes. Click here, go here, click that. You see the form? Yes. Do you have a printer? Well, I do have a printer, but it's not currently working. How am I going to do the submission? Well, we can send you a form, or you can fill out the form and you can email it to us. We'll acknowledge receipt. And that's what I ended up doing. We're going to talk a little bit about how I did that, exactly what I did, the potential hiccup for doing that, how I alleviated that. But the general process was really, really good. So I signed up and I clicked on the document. I'm going to pull out this first document. And again, I've hidden everything so I can't see it. So I submitted my first form. Now the form you look at and you have your item and you choose the shipping. And I obviously chose the CAC, shipping and insurance. I chose my Express, Modern Express, because everything here is fairly new. 1 coin and 2 metals, or 2 coins and a metal, excuse me. Both denominations, and then one was the privy that I got with the flowing hair. So those were the 3 coins that I submitted. Now the 3 coins that I submitted were pretty substantial items. Now I waited for a long time to do this. So when you listen to the items that are on this particular list, I didn't just send in regular items. I sent in items that I've been holding on for a long time and really thought long and hard about, do I submit these? So the first coin that I submitted was a 2021 Denver 100th anniversary Morgan dollar. Now, as many of you know, that if this particular item comes back mint state 70, it's an extremely valuable coin. Now 69, not so much. There's about a $700 or $800 difference between the two. Now about $500 or $600 difference. The other one that I submitted was the 2020 West Point V75 American Silver Eagle. Now this coin, if it comes back at proof decam, you're talking about a $700, $800 coin. And then the last one was the one I recently opened, which was the flowing hair privy. And of course, if this one comes back in MS70, we're talking about a coin that ranges anywhere from $4,800 to $7,500. So I didn't choose these 3 coins lightly. I didn't send some 2020 Lincoln cent. I didn't send a 1978 beat up circulated dime. I didn't choose a 1964 quarter. I chose very carefully about the coins that and then the metal that I was going to submit for grading. So again, when we talk about grading, we talk about these things. I don't recommend, in many cases, I don't recommend you grading very many items. So I called CAC and I said, hey, this is what I have. These are what I want to do. Took a long time, really looked at the grades, looked at the populations. I know the grades in. I've had people look at these coins. I know where they are. I think they're all going to meet. They're all going to meet top. But I know that there's always, the person who's grading it has the final say. We talked about what the prices should be. We talked about the declared value, how I should fill out the form. And then, like I said, because I didn't have my printer available to me because of some issues with it, she allowed me to print this out via PDF, and then I emailed her the PDF. She acknowledged receipt. So how did I check when I sent the coins in? How did I check that? Well, this is what I did. So I talked with them and told them that I was going to label each one. So here's the V75. And what I did with each one is on the inside, I put my Frostbyte coins sticker. And on the back side of the sticker, I indicated my account number, my submission number, what number in the list that it was, and then what the anticipated grade was going to be. And I did that with each and every one of these. And so in each one, and you'll see that there's 2 here because I pulled them out, but in each one of the cases, I put it in there and I closed it and I wrapped that up individually. And then on the outside of the coin, I labeled whatever that coin was, number 2, number 3, number 1. And that's how I sent these items in. So each one of these, not only on the outside of the packaging had something labeled up, but on the inside had my sticker, tied it directly to me, and listed the same information that was on the sheet. Now, I did this for a couple of reasons. One, they were expecting my package. They knew that they were looking for a package that was coming by me. They knew when it was going to arrive, and then they knew which ones that were there. So again, I talked with them. I told them the situation. We walked through. We made a plan, and they executed it perfectly. I am extremely happy with the way they executed the process. Their customer service was top-notch. Now, are they a sponsor? Absolutely not. I am not a sponsor. They are not sponsoring me. I'm not saying this because I'm getting anything out of it. I simply am a happy customer with what I received in this first submission by CAC. Okay. Native Warrior, what's going on? I bought one. It did not open the package. Sold it for $4.99. Oh, so I can't tell you how many ways that could be wrong. Oy, 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 oy. That's a hit or miss, man. it makes me cringe because not only could it have been a privy, but it also could have been one with the numbered signed item that are running, anywhere between $8,500 and $12,000. So yeah, do I think you did the wrong thing? Odds are against you. Probably did the correct thing, but man, there is that nasty thing inside me that just goes, oh. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're good with it. If you're good with it, then hey, right on. But thanks for coming in. I definitely appreciate you being here, Native Warrior. Sloppy Stacks, what's going on? Hey, Nick. Yeah, my back is still really tender, but I am doing better. So, yeah, I'm definitely doing good. Hey, RC, what's going on? Yeah, again, stepped on some plastic at the top of the stair, and you know what? I don't recommend it. I do not recommend it. Anyway, so this is how I validated and verified each one of the coins, put it in the package, individually wrapped, and then sent it off to CAC. Now, when CAC got it, they sent me a message. They indicated that, you know what? It's a gamble to do that too, so I completely understand. But again, I took caution and made sure they were going on, and we communicated. As soon as it came in, obviously they had to sign for the package, so they signed for the package. Immediately sent me a response. This is the package. These are the 3 coins. They arrived in good condition. Sent me confirmation. And then when I looked at my registry item here, so I would come over here and I would go under the submission portal right here, then it would come up. Now, again, I'm not clicking on this right now. And I'm not clicking on this because if I do, it'll tell me what these are. Now, I called her and told her what I wanted to do. And she told me very clearly, don't click on this. When you open up the sheet, move it to the side, take them out, turn them upside down, because the 2 top sheets are going to be your invoice, and then the other one's going to be your grading sheet. So I took great, great care to ensure that I didn't see what any of these are. Hey, I'm doing well. How you doing? Coins making sense. Good to see you, Kevin. I appreciate you. All right, so we got that in, and here's where I want to talk a little bit about history. So I have sent coins in from ANAX, and I've sent coins in NGC and PCGS. And in almost every case, I got back my coins anywhere between 8 and 14 weeks, 15 weeks. 20 weeks with PCGS was the longest that it took me to get my coins back. I got these coins back in 10 days. Sent, graded, and returned. 10 days turnaround time. I was ecstatic. It happened very quickly. The process was smooth. Now, we recently, and I say we because me and another friend of mine submitted a joint package to PCGS. It was 4 coins, and we submitted this. 2 different packages. The total turnaround time was over 7 months. And I was like, I'm done with PCGS. Not because their quality isn't good. It just took so damn long. I've got to tell you that I will be sending, if I grade stuff again, I'll be sending it to CAC. Now, I have heard people, now mind you, this is one experience for me, one. And I have heard people say that they've had experiences with mislabeling and there have been issues with, I paid for, and I'll show you the sheet here in just a minute. I paid for Modern Express. So instead of the $17 grading fee, I paid $35 per coin, okay, or per metal. So I did pay $18 more to have it done quickly. But even in doing Rush, the last time I did Rush with PCGS, it was still 17 weeks. So yes, I paid a little bit extra for a little bit quicker turnaround time, but it was 10 total days. And that's from me packaging it, shipping it, them arriving, processing it, grading it, taking the photos, and sending it back. Absolutely fabulous. But again, the communication that I had with them. Now, back to that. I have heard a number of people that said that they've had issues with improper labeling. Ladies and gentlemen, this happens at every grading company on occasion. These are not standard common things. They happen from time to time. People putting the wrong label. There were a lot of things with PCGS recently with wrong labels. There's videos, if you go search them out, every single grading company has something that talks about the wrong grade or the wrong level or the wrong label or the wrong uh, uh, oh, when you have it put down, the verification, the variety, have the wrong variety listings, or it didn't have a variety listing. It was supposed to be listed. Now, the other thing that I requested was the return of my items. And I got every one of mine wrapped back with a label indicating what it was. All the certificates are there. The packages were wrapped very nicely put together. It arrived in a big box, very well packed. And it came from an address, and I'm not going to repeat it online. I would recommend anybody that orders from a bullion company, anybody that orders any kind of bullion or sending any kind of coin grading, don't ever repeat the address they sent it from. They do that for your protection. Now, I do want to say that there was one thing, and I don't have it with me, but there was one thing, if there was any piece in this that I would complain about, they put Frostbyte coins. Now, before they shipped it off, they highlighted the marker over the top of it, and it just said Frostbyte. Now, is that their problem? No, it's mine. Because I should never labeled my return address as Frostbyte coins. I should have just labeled it Frostbyte, or what I do on my P.O. box is Frostbyte CNC. So is that CAC's problem? Absolutely not. This is my problem. This is something that I'm going to be rectifying on my account. I'll be changing the name and coordinating it because that was a fault of me. Now, I will say that they marked out coins so that if somebody were to look at this package, they wouldn't see the fact that it was a coin. So again, even in my screw up, they still really took time to make sure that they were going to safeguard that. So I have to say huge kudos to that. All right, well, let's go ahead and dig in and get to the reason everybody's here. Now, I'm going to tell you what my guess is, okay? And I'm going to start with the V75. Now, the reason I'm going to, oh, you know what? I guess I'll show this afterwards. I'm going to start with the V75. And the reason I'm going to start with the V75 is, and I'm trying to open this to where you guys can see me do it, is because this is a proof. When you look at the population, there is a great number of them that come back proof cameo, proof 70 cameo. My call on this particular coin is that it's going to come back proof cameo. If it comes back proof dicam or decam, even better. But this one is the one that I'll almost guarantee is going to come back at a 70. Looking at this was essentially a flawless coin. I couldn't see anything. I've had other people look at it and they're like, it's a flawless coin. So this one is the one that I'm almost guaranteeing is going to come back as a 70. Now the privy mark is something that I'm also going to press at a 70. When you look at the population, you look at how things were done, you look at the general process, took a look at it. The slab was clean. It was nice. It was freshly packaged. I took in and sent them all in their packages. I didn't remove them. I sent them in their OGP to make sure that I didn't do anything with it. Can I guarantee that I'm going to get an MS67 out of the metal? No. This is my big hope. I want that flowing hair privy. Now, the only coin that I'm really worried about not getting a 70 is the 2021 Denver. And that's because there's so many of them that are MS69s. And hope beyond hope that I get a 70 in that one. Hey, Tog, what's going on? Hey, SkyQuest, good to see you guys. Thanks for popping in. If there's any coin I really would like to see in a 70, it would be the 2021 and the privy. But that, I don't know. I'm leaning towards that one being an MS69 just because the odds are just leaning that way. So I'm going to open it up this way so I can't see. And they are wrapped. You can still see that they are wrapped inside. So I'm going to pull this out here. You guys are going to see this entire thing. All right, we're going to slide this first one out. And this is going to be, okay, this is the flowing hair. So if you guys look at the back of this, I am seeing the reverses. I am not seeing the obverse. So I am showing them, this is the front. This is where all the labels are. So we're going to start with that one, and we're going to open it up, and it's going to be, actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me do this. Steve looking for silver, just dropped 10 memberships. Thank you so much. I'm going to make myself a little bit bigger here. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Come on. Why are you giving me such a fit? Okay, hold on. I got to make it big. For some reason, it's not wanting to work with me. All right, I'm going to make myself a little bit bigger here. Sorry for the... Big Nibbit, come on. There we go. All right. Make myself a little bit bigger, and I'm going to make myself a little bit bigger here as well. All right. Oh, I'm nervous. My face is red. That's also probably from the pain med. I'm a little flush. All right. So the first one. You ready? Yeah. MS70. CAC MS70. Flowing hair. Outstanding. Okay. That makes me really happy. Yeah, that makes me really happy. Okay, cool. So one of the ones, this is the most valuable of them all. Okay, this is the big dollar. This is the big ticket item. So yeah, I'm hot. So it is an MS70, cat graded MS70. And again, I think that when you talk with people, you'll see that CAC usually is grading harder than everybody else. So for this to be an MS70, I am abso-freaking-lutely stud. It is a metal. You see that, and again, the green's going to disappear because of my green screen. But there it is, CAC MS70. All right, so that's the first one. Oh my God, that makes me happy. All right, so let's pick this back up. And again, I haven't looked at any of these. Sliding it up. This is the V75, and I don't doubt that one at all. Proof Decam 70, absolutely fabulous. And again, this is the one that out of all of them, I absolutely figured that this one was going to be, because this coin just was flawless. When you look at the population report, I'm very happy that it's come back at 70. But again, this one, if any of them was going to come back 70, it was going to be this one for certain. So absolutely fabulous. See that amazing deep reflective field. Absolutely funny. Yeah, this is probably, oh God, I don't know. There's between $850 and $1,000, somewhere in that area. Okay, now the only one. Now, this is now Yogsnap, I want you to understand that I sat on these coins, these two coins, for a long time. Now, this coin is very special to me. This coin is never going to get sold. I'm going to talk about this coin here in just a minute, why this coin is so special to me. We'll talk about that one in a minute. Oh, that means a lot to me, and I'll talk about that one in a second. I just choked myself up. Sorry. Okay, and for the last one, this is the one that I'm afraid of. If this one hits 70, I'll be super ecstatic. This is the Morgan Dollar 2021. Ow, it's 69. Oh, I was so hoping it would be 70. There you go. 2021 D69. I was afraid that was going to be the case just because of the population. I'm happy. I'm happy with these. I really, really, really would have liked the last one to be an MS70, but the one important one, the main important one, came back at 70, and this is the Privy, because that coin is a very, 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 or that metal is very, very expensive right now. All right, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to pull this stuff up. I'm going to show this stuff, but this coin means a lot to me. And next weekend, we're doing Wounded Warriors. And if you look at Wounded Warriors, there's a name on that. That name is John Howe. This is the very last coin. I'm going to choke up. This is the very last coin John and I traded. And not very long before he passed away. We had talked about this coin for almost a year. And I was having a very, very difficult time. And I told him I want it. Like, I'll trade. You tell me what we need to do. And he worked with me. And over the course of a few months, I paid him. We traded some items. And I got this coin. So this coin is going super deep, ultra collection. This is not going anywhere. Because this is my remembrance of John Howe. This is my John Howe coin. And so that one means a lot to me. He was a good friend, and again, I took it very hard when we lost him. And so, with Wounded Warriors just around the corner again next week, it was very, very important for me to get that sent in. And again, I didn't take this lightly. So when I talk about the coins and the metal, like, I took a lot of time to think about where I was going to grade these in. I wasn't just going to send them in anywhere because I really wanted to make sure that I chose the best place. And I'm going to tell you, I'm extremely happy with this submission. I wanted to share it with you all. And thank you guys all for your support. Did your flowing hair have the privy? Oh, here. It did indeed. Yep. There it is. Native Warrior, flowing hair with privy. Outstanding. Steve looking for silver again. Thank you so much for the 10 memberships. Native Warrior, I noticed that you were green. Please make sure you tell Steve looking for silver. Thank you for that. Yeah, this is amazing, and I'm really happy about this. And I wanted to share this. But let's go ahead and come back over here. Now I want to kind of walk you through. William E., thank you so much for becoming a member. I definitely appreciate you, brother. Thank you for all your support. I'm going to drop back down. I'm going to shrink myself down a little bit. We're going to get back over here, and I want to walk you through this. So again, one of the things that I really liked about this, yeah, Native Warrior, it's a huge coin. It's a huge metal. And coming back in 70 is huge. There's a couple things that I was really happy about. So when I click on the submitter portal, this is why I didn't do it. You see these numbers right here? Yeah, that tells me what they are. And I didn't want to click on this because she told me, she goes, are you opening this as a surprise? And I said, yeah, I have a channel and this is what I'm trying to do. She's like, do not click on your submission portal. But I wanted to show you this because this is the only place, if I was to give CAC any kind of feedback at all, there would be one piece of feedback. And if anybody submitted through CAC, you've probably seen the same thing. But here's the one point, John Shank. Yeah, I have a couple coins from John that I won't trade. I won't do that. But yeah, so again, she told me not to do this. But the only thing that I would recommend is if you come here and you click on your submission, it's like, well, where do I submit? Where do I go? Now, I won't click on this because it brings up a lot of personal, private information, so I won't click on this particular item. But I'm like, well, how do I submit the coin? So I come over here to CAC and I'm looking, services, grading, how to submit. I click on how to submit. Click on the club. It's the whole join thing, but there's no submission. There's no thing that tells you submit now. If there was anything that I would recommend that they do, would be to add a simple button somewhere here that says submit for grading. So when you click that button, it immediately opens the form. This is the only thing that I will recommend. Now, I'm actually going to write an email to them and let them know that, hey, Dark Skoy, what's going on? Thanks for coming in. You got the stickers. Outstanding. I'm glad you got the stickers. Thank you so much. This would be the only thing that I would recommend. And that either under services they have a label, a drop down that says submit now, or they have something over here like by my account that is submit to CAC. And then you click the button, it actually takes you directly into the submission. Because what you have to do is you have to understand that you have to go to Submission Center. It's not intuitive. When you look at the other stuff, you can kind of understand what's going on. But this is the only one that is a little bit kind of whatever. And so if I'm going to email them and I'm going to let them know that, hey, I do have one suggestion on your site. Everything was great. The process was great. Absolutely love it. You have a loyal person. But the only thing that I would recommend is that they go here. Now, when you click here, it's to find a dealer. Okay, great. But where the hell do you submit to? I don't know, right? Like, it's not news and articles, right? Because that's a whole bunch of stuff. So where do you submit? This really frustrated the hell out of me. And when she showed me, I was like, well, that's kind of dumb. So when you come over here to how to submit, you have to come down here and click on submission log. Here's where you actually submit. So it shows your information. Here you'll see that my tier was Express, the Modern Express. It showed what I believed my declared value to be. Now I'm going to slide this over. So if you're looking, you'll see over here up at the top, up above me. Let me actually slide this over as well. Slide that down. You'll see just over here that there's a submission and a submit items. It's not intuitive. It's kind of hidden. So this would be the only thing in submission for CAC. So again, if you're looking to do a CAC submission and you can't find it, then the best way to do it is click on the CAC logo here, anywhere you go. It doesn't matter where. Whoops, I just moved myself. Doesn't matter where you go. Come over here and click on this CAC located right here. I'm going to move the screen a little bit. This CAC right here. Okay, this is the one you want to be looking at. And then when you go there, I want you to click on Services and then How to Submit. Now, when you get to How to Submit, you're going to have this little menu here. And you're going to scroll all the way down till you see the one that says Submission Log. Okay, that's how you submit. So again, hey Gremlin, how you doing? My number one, my number two. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming in. So appreciate you being a member. But again, out of everything that I've dealt with CAC on this particular transaction, this was the only one that I would say was a little bit kind of wonky because this is kind of hidden. I think over here where it's my account, they should have another one that actually shows submission, right? This is one of those things. Thought all had, oh, no. Sloppy Stacks, there are only 230 of the 1,795 that had signatures that were signed by the director of the mint. And so she only signed 230 of them. Now, she signed them, and I'll go ahead and pull this up. If you guys have never seen, I'm sure you guys have seen thousands of these. But when you open up the privy, you'll see this really beautiful picture here that has the privy mark. If you see one without the privy, you know that you don't have the privy. But at the very front of the certificate, you open it up. Here's where Ventress Gibson, the director of the mint, would have signed. And then she would have labeled it here under the sticker 2 of 230, 50 of 230, 218 of 230. And so that's where that was signed. But there were only 230 of them. Now, talking about this, we've talked a little bit about this before. There is word, hint, hint, wink, wink, and I brought it to you courtesies of somebody talking about it in a video, that the mint is actually going to do the signed certificates with the gold. Sloppy Stacks, mine was not signed. If mine was signed, I would have sold it. And here's why. It would have fetched between $9,000 and $12,000. I would have bought it. I would have turned around and bought a Pivy by itself and still had money left over. But no, it didn't come with one. So no, that did not That was not there. But yeah, if I would have had one that was signed, absolutely would have sold it. Because again, that would have been an initial purchase. I would have been sending that off for grading. As soon as it came back and labeled whatever the number was, that thing would have immediately went. I probably would have asked CAC if they wanted to put it in the registry and sold it through the registry instead of getting the coin back and let them handle your actual sale. But because it didn't have the signed thing from Ventress Gibson, then it really wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, the signed ones are crazy. The highest one, Blue Ridge Silverhound, showed it on his stream the other day when he was kind of talking about it. And I think Silver Wolverine talked about it as well. The highest one that I've seen thus far was 15,000 as a sold. That was the highest one, and it was a very low number. Now, what I would like to see is I'd like to see what the registry goes. It'll probably be a PCGS or a CAC or NGC registry for one of the first few signed numbers. Number 1, number 3, number 5, because those are going to fetch extremely high numbers, in my opinion. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to share this with you, kind of do this little quick opening. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know there's other people streaming right now. I kind of streamed over Uncle Sal just a little bit, but I had a very limited amount of time and my back was feeling better. I knew I had to get it done now. But I wanted to open again of these 69. Oh, I really would have loved to have seen that 70, but I anticipated it. MS69 for the 2021 Denver Morgan Dollar. Proof Diecam V75 ASE. That's such a gorgeous coin. Absolutely fabulous. And then the piece de resistance. That is the MS70 2024 flowing hair with privy. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for, just supporting the channel, for coming alongside. And again, thank you, RLC. I appreciate you doing that. Again, it's just one of those things where there's nothing that CAC has done to say, hey, will you do this? I just wanted to give credit where credit is due. I've heard a lot of things on both sides. I've heard dealers that say, they're good, but they aren't doing very well. I know by looking at some of the grading sheets, CAC's been harder than some of the other ones. We've talked about this in the live stream. And so if I was going to get 70s, I wanted them to come from CAC. So, hey, vote for Pedro. What's going on, bud? Just plugged Wounded Warriors here a little while ago. Next week, again, make sure you're doing that. You guys will see me Saturday if you're there. I've got a really cool piece that we're going to be auctioning off for vote for Wounded Warriors. So please be there. Check that out. There's a lot of cool stuff. Some amazing things are being done. So please make sure you go and check out the Wounded Warrior benefit. If you'll do me a favor, vote for Pedro. Please make sure you're dropping that in chat and make sure that people are aware of it. That would be absolutely awesome. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to share this with you. You know what I'm going to do? I've got a video on it, but I'm going to share one other thing with you if I can find it. And is Oregon Stacker in the house by chance? I don't think he is. Steve looking for silver here. I have wanted this piece for a long time, and I just got this in. I'm doing a video. I'm not going to talk much about this. There's other stuff coming with this. But I have waited for one of these for a very long time, and I finally had the opportunity. Oregon took care of me, said, hey, Frosty, I found one for you. Work out it. We got everything taken care of, and he set that aside. This is my Carson City GSA Horde, and I finally got one. You guys know I love my Horde stories. I love my Renfield Horde and the Northeast Horde and the Great Horde, the Big Sky Horde, but I finally got my GSA. Now I have a couple Carson Cities. I do have a 63, 83, CC, but it's not the GSA. But I finally got my certified GSA holder. I've actually sent some stuff off to Livecoin Q&A because I think I found something cool on there. So we're going to do that. But again, I wanted to shout out Oregon Stacker for another opportunity for another amazing piece. There's a lot of time invested in trying to identify and pick and choose a couple of these items. So again, just I wanted to share this with you. But again, if Oregon happens to come in, please let you know that I really appreciate you letting me know that you had this and gave me the opportunity for this. Steve was the one that actually got me my Renfield Horde. If you haven't seen that video, go check out that video. I loved that particular one. All right, folks. Well, I'm sure there are other people streaming. I'm going to go pull this up. Let's see who's out there. Refresh this. Ashes C2 looks like he's up. Oregon Stacker's out there. Yankee Stackies. Let me do this live. Oregon Yankee, BH Custom, Silver Selling Machine, Ashes. There are so many great channels out there that are, hey, freaking awesome. That's cool. That's cool. He just dropped his video. Yeah, go check that out. But there's a lot of channels streaming right now. I want to get off. I'm streaming over their normal time. So again, go check out some of these folks. Let them know that Frosty sent you. Thanks for coming up and sharing some time with me and just enjoying the opening of my first CAC submission. All right, folks. Love, appreciate you. Dark Score, thanks for coming in. Thanks for letting me know you got those stickers. I'm really glad you enjoyed them. All right, folks. Be well, be blessed, and I will see you guys in the stream.